I am so excited. I'm live tonight. Hey, person on. I'm just start at give it a few. You are the first. Last talking about qualities. I have time. One person. Uh, People on. Look at that. Not starting yet. I'm learning. Loyal people for tonight. Oh, there you go. So there are two people with loyal. Two of you are. Um, we got places to go, so we're gonna do this tonight, quickly and nicely. Talk about this particular topic. It's an important topic. There's gonna be a large number of people who face fidelity. Question is, how do you deal with these things? Infidelity comes up. How do you address infidelity in your relationship? Well, I have answers for you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to four people who are here. on time, and I am actually on time tonight. I'm actually on time tonight. We're gonna record this thing. So, what is infidelity? Talked in the past about what infidelity is. Uh, Fidelity is any situation, whether it is a job, whether it is a relationship, anything that takes energy away from a relationship. Relationship is marriage supposed to be really central to the interactions. Anything that draws energy away from that, really, in my mind, constitutes faithful. So that's something to kind of bear in mind as that what how do we how do we so the other important question, so what causes infidelity? And so the answer that I give very early on, the answer I give very early on to get it out of the way, because people want to. People are unfaithful because they want to. There's really no other reason. That's the early reason. That's the one we say. We'll make choices to, right? So we get that out of the way. So let's talk about the bunch of other reasons why people make the choice to be um to participate in infidelity. Well, hi guys. For those of you who are popping on and off, talking tonight about fidelity and after. But we want to talk first about what are the things. So usually, especially in cases where people are related to the relationship, um, a lot of times infidelity may occur when when there's when there's loneliness, sadness. So that's something that the one party or one partner may be asking, spend some that with me, and those particular calls go. So there's potentially this sense of loneliness, uh, individual, and sometimes what happens, sometimes what happens to individuals are this individual is that they don't may not even recognize the level or depth of loneliness, and somebody comes along that fills that, and they ultimately choose to go in the direction of the person, and unfaithfulness occurs in the relationship. But that doesn't necessarily have to happen. It does happen often. That sense of loneliness, sadness grips the relationship. Person, whatever reason, someone somewhere, Marlene, someone somewhere. So you have a sense of sadness. Other one is well, hi, I see some more people. I'm getting more excited now. Yay! um the other one is an emotionally distant partner, somebody who just like when we talk about this loneliness, somebody who is not there emotionally, not there for you. And so that sense of loneliness, and mind you, a lot of the times this loneliness is occurring and it's distant, and you may not even get feelings of distance occurring relationship. Some person comes in and fills that void. They're seeing behavior. So there's that. And then there's selfishness or materialism. People are just doing it because they want more stuff, they want more money, they want more of whatever it is that they want more of, and they're finding themselves in a situation where they're because they want more that their partner may not be able to provide. They're just doing it. So they're doing it because they're selfish. Pure and simple, right? Sometimes people lack a moral code. So for some people, they see no reason whatsoever to this idea to be faithful or completely faithful to their partner is not something that they perceive as possible this life. So they just do it because they're for them there's no moral code that says that they have to be. And so they make a choice to whatever. Interestingly enough, sometimes people lack infidelity may occur because the individual lacks confidence. The confidence to say, no, I don't think we should do this, or no, I don't think we should. And so that sometimes can drive um, uh, people to get too close to you. That you're not setting the boundaries. You're not saying, hey, we're not going to talk on the phone here. We're not going to talk at this time. We're not going to interact. That not setting those boundaries and not demonstrating that in itself can be a potential issue for individuals, right? So that's something else to kind of keep in the back of your mind. So we have that. So another one is controlling or disrespectful behavior by behaviors that um behaviors where a person is not your partner is not showing a sense that you're important, that you're valuable. Um, those things can also drive uh, the partner in the arms of somebody else. Not that that's an excuse, but that's part of the reason why fidelity may occur. Being disrespectful, being controlling, that person doesn't feel as though they have a say in the relationship, so they go, right? Another big one is compulsive use of pornography. So the idea that in the use of pornography, this idea that relationships happen this way is a very dysfunctional way of the idea that my partner should do this for me or to me or this way. That sometimes can drive people to go outside of the relationship to look to get particular needs met that that don't aren't necessarily not necessarily the best way to get. That's one. Um, Another big one is a strong resentment or anger for your partner and a desire to punish them, to let them feel like, you know what, you hurt me, I'm going to show you. So it's somewhat reactionary. Um, this kind of this kind of conflict. Other one that's really interesting, and by the way, I've seen a bunch of people coming on and off. Welcome, welcome, welcome to you. If you want to, just drop a comment below to let me know or let us know on. I would definitely appreciate a sense. I just say hi, where you're from, what you, where you're from, have a question about infidelity, conflicts that occur, or if you have a question about dealing with infidelity in your relationship, post a question or just message private message section. Uh, Sometimes people engage in fidelity as an escape from responsibility. Let's say it. That their responsibilities at home. A person may not want to find themselves where they're not where they're not, so they find a distraction. That's sometimes no. So I've laid out the causes, talked about causes in past past lives. I want to talk tonight more about things that trigger fidelity, types of fidelity, and what are some of the things that can be done to what are some of the things to deal with these. I want to throw a concept at you really early. If you're ready to hear this, hear me know. It's like, you know, um, if you want to get a sense of conflicts, um, I'm sorry, a sense of one of the big ideas, what to do in terms of dealing with post-infidelity conflict, there is a concept called charging neutral. Uh, charging neutral. What is charging neutral? Charging neutral is this idea that when when a partner becomes aware that infidelity is occurring, one of the worst things, and I'm just taking it from the science, one of the worst things, welcome, welcome, welcome to all of you who come on. We're talking about post infidelity conflicts. So, how do you deal with the conflicts that ensue when infidelity occurs? So, welcome. If you, I would appreciate it if you're willing to like this page, or like this video, or hear something that you think, go ahead and share it with. Like this. 1 second, let me get this done. Here's something that you think. So just let me know. Now I'm seeing comments. Hi Michelle. Hi Jesse. Get you coming on, watching. So the concept is charging neutral. What is charging neutral? So charging neutral is this idea that one of the worst things that you can do if when you discover infidelity is chase after them. You shouldn't. I mean, from an emotional perspective, it totally makes sense to chase them. Why are you doing this? And you begin to kind of get into this Richards, get into this idea that um, get into this idea that there- I'm sorry if my voice is kind of going. Doing my best here. So if you can't hear me, just let me know. I can switch network. But again, if you're not hearing me, let me know. So charging neutral is this idea that you don't want to push your partner. It's important to set boundaries to let that person know that you're extremely uncomfortable with what is happening. I set in the boundary, you may decide it may be time to separate for a period of time. But charging neutral essentially means that you are going to say, look, I don't like what I'm seeing here. I don't like what is happening here. I'm going to take these particular steps, but you lay those things out and you leave it alone. I how to change voice going. I think that the audio may be on. Right, sounds as though my voice is clear now. But I'm gonna keep going. So charging neutral. If somebody can type that yeah, in the um in the comment box, I would. Charging neutral is making sure that you set boundaries with your partner. You let them know that your concerns, or you may make a decision to leave or leave the relationship, separate, or whatever the boundaries are. Sometimes people say, you got to move out the bedroom or whatever it is, or you got to sleep on the floor. Set those boundaries, but you don't want to be pushing, 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 because what tends to happen is that you push the person into the arms of, the person that they're having the affair with. I mean, and it sounds like, why would you do that? But ultimately, the science suggests that pushing pushes the partner. Just understand that if you want to kind of build your confidence on this, that 85% of affairs actually don't even work out. So the odds are in your favor that your partner is probably going to stay with you. But charging neutral says, I'm setting boundaries, but I'm going to continue pursuing my life. I'm not chasing you. I'm not telling you, I've told you these are where my boundaries are. I may cry on the shoulder of somebody else and you may not even see at the tears. But at the same time, what's essentially happening is that you're letting your partner know. You're letting your partner know that these are the boundary lines. You don't want to cross these. I see some people coming on and off. Damon, hello, how are you? Glad to see you. And so charging neutral, somebody, if you're willing to type charging neutral in in the comment box. I would love that. So let's talk about the different types of infidelity and how you can address these types of infidelity. So those of you some of you call yourselves students. So listen to this particularly carefully. I take this from an article in a publication called Psychology. Thank you, Michelle. Charging neutral. So the first type of infidelity, uh, there's something, or an affair, we call it something called uh, conflict phobia. These people are conflict phobia. This is when one or both partners won't argue or they skirt around their differences rather than work them out. So these people are in this type of relationship, this conflict phobic relationship. The, there's no fighting, and so there's an avoidance of conflict throughout the relationship. And the problem here is that they're not sharing all of themselves, and there's really no level of intimacy. There's no depth in the relationship, and a lot of times, if the person is conflict, if there's a conflict phobia, they're gonna seek out a relationship or seek out interaction with someone who continues to perpetuate this level of a lack of intimacy with their partner. They have a situation where um, they're gonna be straying away from their partner just for the sake of avoiding conflict. These individuals, they're not airing their troubles. They're risking confrontational feelings. Um, what is funny in this situation is that for these individuals, they believe that to save their marriage, they find themselves in a situation where they're gonna avoid the conflicts to save their marriage by communicating with someone else. But what the authors of this article basically say is that these people are careless. It's almost like they want to get caught. You know, they don't necessarily want to be in a relationship. They're they're just trying to avoid the day-to-day conflicts that may occur in the relationship. And so the prospect for this kind of I see some new people on. The prospect for recovery in this type of infidelity is extremely good. It's very good because again, the person doesn't necessarily want to leave; they just don't want to fight. And so wherever they can go um, to 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 avoid this fight, they're going to go. Prospects for growth in this relationship actually quite good. Um, quite good for growth in the when both sides take responsibility for their conflict avoidance. There's a good chance that they actually get deeper. So if both people can recognize, that that have been actively avoiding conflicts, then you have a situation where they can kind of sit down, they can talk some of this through, and really build a more intimate. So the first one that we talked about is the phobia, conflict phobia. These people, all they're trying to do is to run away from the conflicts that are in their house, trying to find a way somewhere to go where they don't have to do conflicts. And for them, part of managing conflict is to face it, to get comfortable with it, to recognize that it is something that they have to deal with. It is something that if they can talk through their issues, the relationship actually can go deeper and greater level of emotion, which I think is absolutely. That's right. So, so I appreciate you guys coming on. What we're talking about is dealing with post-infidelity conflicts. Just talked about one type of conflict. Um, we're delving into another one. So here's the other one. I think this one. So the first one is conflict phobic. Then now there's in the other direction, vulnerability phobic. So these people are opposite to the phobics. These couples are often they're good at arguing. As a matter of fact, they're almost too good at arguing. For them, conflict is a way to maintain contact with each other, but it isn't a healthy debate. So for these individuals, now for the first ones, this is like comical, you know. For the first group, they are trying to avoid conflict. For the second group, they're trying to avoid being vulnerable with their partner. So these people are fighting all the time. And for them, there's this strong need to be right, right? Um, there's a strong need to be right and to prove the other person wrong. This leads to a to playing roles rather than the intimacy and authentic interaction. So hi Kimberly, these individuals, it's crazy if you think about it. These individuals uh, in um, in their relationships, they're trying to avoid being vulnerable. And so it is likely that an affair will get discovered pretty quickly. Um, the infidelity occurs when the partner does not care about the other person, thus increasing the fear that the fear of being vulnerable, and this leads to a sense of loneliness. So for these individuals, they're fighting. It looks as though they sometimes even having these debates, but they're still lonely. So something is there where their true feelings are not being heard. Their true feelings are not being expressed. And so for these individuals, part of the challenge for them is that they don't, excuse me, they may not even necessarily know how they're feeling. And so they may not necessarily know when vulnerabilities are occurring in their lives, and people can kind of ease in to those situations, and um, uh, they can ease into these age and so all right, we're back on. There we go, back on. Um, so for these individuals, may find themselves in a place where they're not being vulnerable. They may change or get into relationships who continue to perpetuate this idea that they don't have to be vulnerable. You know, like macho, I don't have to talk about my feelings or talk about. Um, so for these individuals, uh, that affairs occur at the same level where they are engaging in an affair with people. Prospects for recovery here are absolutely good again. Um, but what has to be in terms of managing conflict, so both partners can learn to see that their fears of being open and vulnerable is the root cause of their I am right, you're wrong, right? And they can drop the roles. And so part of managing these particular conflicts in relationships is dropping this game uh, playing these roles and being able to say this hurt, or I'm sorry, or I need you, or I miss you, or anything along those lines that really suggests to you, hi Andy, suggests to your partner that you're being real, that you're being vulnerable, you're being open to. Now, so we've talked about the conflict phobic partners. We've talked also about the vulnerability phobic partners and what they have to do. Yeah, that for the conflict phobic affairs, sorry, the recovery is good. And for the vulnerability phobic affairs, the recovery is fairly good. Um, the next group is incapacity or incapable of intimacy affairs, and this is another version of infidelity of the vulnerability phobic affairs. Their strained partner finds the messiness of a long-term relationship after the novelty of it. Well, essentially, what this article is saying. So we have these people who are not being vulnerable, and then you have a situation where the partners are incapable. For them, it's all nice and cool when the relationship begins or the marriage begins, but when you start kind of getting into all the messiness of a long-term relationship, too complicated, and so they want to move on to the next. And again, part of the reason why I'm sharing this with you is that you're able to identify these particular uh, affairs, because each with each one of these, one has to be pretty clear about what you're dealing with. Because if you're dealing with a person who is incapable of intimacy, the the outlook for dealing with that kind of infidelity is extremely poor. It means that essentially you're going to have a situation where no matter how much you try, that person is or may not be able to engage in the level of intimacy that's required to have a successful relationship. So watch yourself. What if that person is struggling, if that person is or appears to be capable of being intimate, or they've had serial series of relationships that don't seem to have any depth, you may have an issue with that particular. And so the science says that recovery is very, very poor. So that's something to kind of keep in the back of you. The other one, and think about uh, situations that you've been in. The other one, which also has a very poor outlook, is the divided self. So for this person, the wandering partner loves the idea of so these people, right? No, they are, for them, they love all the picture perfect mommy, daddy, and the kids. They like the idea of it, but they don't necessarily working to kind of grow the relationship, put the work in to build up. So they're gonna want to have this perfection on the side, um, but they want also to be able to have a Mr. or Mister on the other side. And there's a level of deception that takes place in these kinds of relationships where these people are also not being vulnerable, not they're not participating in real intimate connection partners. And so you have this where the outlook for this particular um, action is also this particular type of also very, because these people are divided, they're split. They want they want to have their relationship over here, and they want to have something like, and so they're unwilling to break it off. One person, oh look, it's them. The other big one is people who are sex addicts. You know, and so they're engaging in affairs purely for the thrill um, of it. And I mean, it's easy to kind of to determine what uh, what the outlook for this particular conflict is. Them, um, the recovery is totally dependent on whether that person is willing or able, whether that person is willing or able to seek treatment or seek help to address those conflicts, to address the issue of fact on the last one. The last one is the exit affair. So this is a big one. So the sole purpose of this particular affair is to force the other person to leave. So what do you do in a conflict like that? What do you do in a situation where the other person is ultimately trying to force you out? That in a situation like that is hopeless. They're trying to make sure that you leave the relationship. And so if you notice signs where you brought up the issue, brought up the concern, and the individuals are not willing to make any change, then that's a problem, and that's maybe an indication that this person is just trying to force you out. And that for me is in the situation like that is ultimately hopeless because they want to leave. Monique says, didn't realize that there are so many different reasons for fear. I thought there were just two. Well, they're not. I mean, I think if you dig into it, there are more. But I really wanted to kind of give an overview to move it very, very quick because we have um, White School Connecticut to get ourselves prepared for tomorrow. And I really wanted on tonight to share with you, dealing with post infidelity conflict, giving you some basic information on how to manage. So I'm gonna give that concept again. Somebody tell me what it is. A big idea is this whole idea of charging neutral. It is something that if you just Google it, charging neutral, and I've seen it work in interactions with other with couples that you do not want to push too hard. You're just pushing the person in terms of the find ways to just fortify yourself with friends, with actions, individuals. Just kind of let them that you're strengthening your own self. You're strengthening your own self to kind of deal with the emotional roller coaster. But hanging on to that person's foot and saying, "Please, please come back. Please love me." I mean, I'm essentially advocating for a show of strength to that person because if you don't, it pushes them. So we go over real quickly these different types of affairs. Just kind of give you the prospect for managing conflicts. First one was the conflict phobic affair. These people are having affairs because they're trying to run from the conflicts. That's one. If somebody can kind of type these for me, and just to share them with the group, I would appreciate that. First one is a conflict phobic affair. Right? Um, what is it? So checking phones, stalking them, constantly asking questions about their results aren't ways to charge neutral. No, they're not. Charging neutral. I mean, essentially, what I've found is that you do that kind of stuff. The bottomless. The more you know, the more you want. It doesn't go anywhere. And the level of anxiety in terms of that stuff, it doesn't help. So the first one is a conflict phobic, and then the other one is the vulnerability phobic, where the individual is engaging in the fear because they don't want to be vulnerable and want to maintain that lack of sense of emotional connection. Anywhere that they can go where they don't have to share feelings or express that kind of stuff. So, the other one is the incapacity for intimacy. Some people, for various reasons, lack the skill to know how to be intimate, and there are reasons for this that I can't go into. But ultimately, um, the challenge here is that these people don't know how. They don't know how to be. Don't know how to build intimacy. Don't know how to care about something. And so, if they can continue to engage in relationships where they don't have to give much, cool. Next one is the divided self. So for these individuals, they are they want the perfect family over here, but they want to be able. You have this situation, that person's self is divided, and we know that the outlook in terms of managing the conflict, kind of pursuing a more deeper connection, the prospects are very, very low because these individuals want the pretty happy relationship. want something. And for them, trouble is that they're still wedged to the idea of themselves as part of a perfect family. They may never find it. They will never find that total perfection. Addict affair where that person is having an affair because they're seeking another sexual thrill somebody else. Basically it. They're doing it because providing them something, somebody. The other one, last one, sex addict was the other one. And the other one, but this, so the in terms of managing these particular conflicts, the outlook is good if that person is willing. Last one, exit affair, where these people are having these affairs because they absolutely want you to be. So they're having an affair, hoping that when they come home, that you're gonna pack your bag, leave. And so if you notice that you're charging neutral, you're making changes, that person is continuing to do, and you know that you're probably not in the best place, and that person that person is. So I've gone over five, it's six of these, and remember that the big idea is charging neutral. Big idea is making sure that you're not clinging onto your partner's leg, like, oh, please stay with me. Because remember what that's checking the phones, stalking them, doesn't work. It is hard. It is hard to do that, to not feel like you have to do it. The science is backs up this idea that charging. So I and I kind of brought those ideas to you in terms of what you're seeing and what can be done to address some of the conflict. If anybody has any questions, any personal experiences, anything that they want to share um, with you, with us tonight, or questions regarding managing conflicts in relationship, fidelity, and the conflicts that occur. This is a big topic for many people, and there are often questions. If you have a question, share it with us tonight. I am just about ready to close because again, went to Connecticut in the morning. White School, Connecticut. Gotta get ourselves ready for that. We're gonna be live at different points to share with you the highlights and lowlights of Couples Fight School, Connecticut. Really want to share. I am encouraging you guys that. Extremely I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. Definitely can't wait to happen. Remember to check out our websites, masteringconflict.com, couplesconflicts.com, the link top of the video. I don't have a copy of my book, but if you want to have a good sense of how to respond to some, um, get it there. If you want to hop on over to fightfair.com, have books or purchase from us. If anyone is interested in bringing Fight School Church to edition, definitely contact me. Contact me, Couples Fight School. Know somebody who may know somebody who needs mention regarding conflicts in relationships. Definitely check us out. Want to hear from you. Fight Fair. And one other thing, my wife and we're gonna start in a couple weeks doing some live videos together. Cool. Uh, some of the fans want to see both of my wife talking about relationship conflict. So we're gonna be doing that not late at night, but in the morning. Some of you can watch the recordings of those. Wanted to kind of get peek into the what's happening in a couple weeks. I think a lot of big changes are coming. So we're Natasha and I are gonna do some videos together. Definitely is gonna have some different perspectives. I do. That's fine. Actually great. Um, no questions before we go. No questions at all. Anybody has any questions? Hey, Kara. If you don't have any questions, we're going to we're gonna close out in a little. Together would be great. It would be, right, Michelle? It's just a scheduling issue. Have a little kid. I mean, it's hard to kind of get it right. Try to keep her. The issue is that, yeah, a male for female perspective, awesome. So I think we're trying to make this happen. Hi, Kenya. I hope all is well with you. We're closing out, so you gotta watch the rebroadcast to kind of see different types of. We talked about like new types of conflict and how to manage these conflicts in relationships. That is something that for some people, um, there for some people don't they didn't realize that there are all these different types of these categories. So it kind of give the audience some. Thanks, Michelle Travels. But we're going to be coming on early in the morning to share with you the travels. And my understanding is that it is going to be in the teens tomorrow in Connecticut, 19, 15 degrees. And that is a very big difference between the 70 degrees that we've had here the last couple of days. So it's going to be interesting. But we have 3 days. We're going to be presenting on Friday night. We're going to be presenting on Saturday evening, and we're also going to be presenting on Sunday morning. So we have 3 days presentations in Hartford. And one of the things that we're going to be doing is talking a little bit more about our personal story, how we got to where we were. Why is it that we feel so passionately about the work and working with couples, working with men, working with women in order to help them have better relationships? Because in my mind, the ability to manage conflict, whether, and I've learned some things too as I went over this stuff tonight. Whether that conflict is uh, running, what am I saying? Whether that conflict is constantly having these fights all the time, so you're running from being vulnerable, right? Or you're running from actually fighting, right? Both are the same because needs don't get met. And for me, if you can learn how to understand and to manage conflict, one of the things that I've seen is that the relationships tend to get, because every conflict is an opportunity. Hi, Marlene. Every conflict is an opportunity to um, to learn something new about your partner, to have a better sense of who they are, what their interests are, what their needs. Because one of the things that I'm kind of developing an understanding of is that part of your role in the relationship with partners happen, and you can't make dreams happen if you don't know who the partner is. And so, in my mind, part of how we get to that place, some people may disagree with me, is through conflict. That growth occurs through conflict. So every conflict is an opportunity to learn something, to grow deeper in the relationship. And so part of what I'm saying here um, is that conflicts present, not part of it. It is always an opportunity, but you kind of have to see it that way. That kind of dig. nuggets or the kernels of truth in this. And but I see it all the time. If a couple can push past the conflict, they reach a different level or higher level, even when infidelity occurs. Because infidelity, in my mind, I say this with all the levels of infidelity, in my mind, is essentially a symptom, except for the people who are doing it just well. Even in the case of people who are doing it just because, and infidelity is still always a symptom. It's always a symptom of something that the person is running from or running. And sometimes to be able to kind of dig into that, you have a situation where really, really. I want to add one last request before I go. Now, for those of you who keep coming on, and if I'm saying things that you find to be really interesting and cool and that kind of stuff, please give a review. If you look on the page in the top right hand corner, um, I think it is. There are like 5 stars. If you can click on that and write a short review, write a long review, it really helps to boost the page. So a review would be nice if you heard some things. So those of you who kind of come on every week, a review would be pretty cool. I see I have 3 people who have been nice enough to give me some reviews. Um, if you can do that, again, we're really trying to build this page. Our goal, um, our goal right now is 5,000. We're pushing to get towards that goal in the next 2 to 3 months. We're steadily kind of moving in that direction. Um, so go ahead and give me a review, a good review, please. If you don't have a good review, send it to me in message, and I will try to fix some of the problems that we have at times. Other than that, guys, I gotta get out of here. You take care of yourself, and I appreciate those of you every week. Oh, by the way, any thoughts on what topic I should tackle next? Flight school. Any ideas? Kenya, do you have any ideas? Do you have a topic that you absolutely want to hear about a relationship? Marlene, do you have a topic? Um, who else is on there? Let's see here. Michelle, any topics? Marlene, there are a couple of Marlenes on here. I don't know if Donnell is still. Monique, any topics? Anything that you, any topics that you have, or a topic that you have that you want to hear more about relationships or just relationships in general. Any takers? No. Takers. Well, I will come up with a topic, and if you like it or not, we're going to talk about it. I don't have any topics. We'll come up with one that we'll use. Oh, okay. I like that. That's pretty easy. How to deal with an angry spouse. By the way, and so this is a good one. Tell you why this is because we can talk about not only how to deal with an angry spouse, how do you know the difference between an angry spouse and an abusive spouse? There's a difference. A person can be angry and not abusive. And knowing the difference between domestic violence and anger is a big one. So thank you for that. So that's exactly what we're going to do next time. We're going to talk about how to deal with an angry spouse. That was easy. How to deal with an angry spouse, right? And in that, we're going to talk about the differences. Anger and domestic are not the same. So, thank you, Monique, for that. Give me some details and topic. Dealing with an angry spouse. That was easy. Absolutely. Guys, we'll do one quick refresh of the page. Those of you who are on, we will say right, and we will be back on at some point tomorrow, early in the morning. We'll be back on sharing some perspectives, uh, perspectives, not perspectives, just sharing with you our journey. Flight school. All right, we'll talk soon. Take care, guys. Have a good night. How do I? Good night. tight and we'll very, very